Hi, and welcome to another Meet the Profit First professional interview. And today I have with me Rosie. So Rosie, how are you today? And would you like to just explain a little bit about yourself?
Good morning, everybody. My name's Rosie Linstead. I'm a chartered accountant and a chartered tax advisor, and I specialise in the property industry. I'm well known in the property industry for my knowledge of property taxation and helping people set up structures in their companies correctly.
Fantastic. Thanks, Rosie. And how long have you been a chartered accountant for?
I started in accountancy at the age of 18 when I left school, so I've been in it now 32 years.
32 years, wow. And that's what you call experienced, isn't it? As well as qualified. So that makes a massive difference if people are looking for help. So why did you go into the world of accountancy?
At the age of 16, my parents moved from Wales to Somerset, and I missed all my friends, and I didn't want to do anything, and they forced me to go to college, and I did a business and finance national diploma. And the only thing I really enjoyed was accountancy, and most of the time I was told by my lecturer not to turn up to the lectures because I'd already done all the work and found it really easy.
So I guess it's just came natural to you by the sounds of it.
It was so easy for me at college, yeah. And I came out with a distinction in accountancy without putting any effort in very much.
Fantastic. And so when did you start your business? So did you work for someone first, and how did it come about that you started up in business?
So I originally started my training down in Taunton in the West Country. I then decided I needed 2 years out, so I moved to Frankfurt and became an au pair, but helped the father run his businesses because he was an entrepreneur. Came back and got offered the chartership at the firm I used to work for. A year later, I ended up moving to London because I was getting fed up of small town syndrome. Moved to London, worked in the entertainment industry as an accountant, so I had rather a lot of famous people and helping them run their companies and their businesses. Then eventually I ended up working in the city for a top 20 firm. I ended up being a senior audit manager there, and I ended up working with international companies and everything. And eventually I got burnout, so I ended up moving back home towards the West Country. Went down and became a senior in a local firm. And eventually, due to personal circumstances, I needed to leave the job in order to help with my husband's business. And then eventually I decided that wasn't bringing enough money, so I would set up my own business.
Fantastic. And so how long ago was it that you set your business up, would you say, roughly?
It's actually 7 years ago.
7 years. Amazing. And
it's a shock to me.
And so, I mean, the experiences that you've had before you got to this point is vast, in different areas and different places and working with different people. As much as I'd like to, I'm not going to ask about the entertainers that you've helped because you might not want to disclose that. But that's really interesting to hear about. And so you started
some of the film stars, I will say some of them were big names in some certain Harry Potter films and stuff like that, which was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Had a few in the Lord of the Rings film, one of my clients. So there's been quite a few really interesting characters, and some just in general household names in television, but more older household names, not the newer ones.
Oh, nice.
It was amazingly great fun.
Yeah, fantastic. That's great to hear. Well done. It's really interesting to hear these stories, isn't it? And things that we didn't know as well until we did this interview. So that's great. Thanks for sharing all of this with us, Rosie. And if we go back to your business now, so about 7 years ago, you decided that you had to set up on your own, or you wanted to set up on your own, I should say. Mm-hmm. And so how did you do that? And where did you find your clients from originally? How did it sort of come about?
So, as I said previously, I'm a property tax specialist. I specialise in the real estate business, partly because I'm actually a property investor myself.
Yep.
And when I had my breakdown, I couldn't work for 2 years, and the only thing that kept me going was the income from my property. So when I set my business up, I thought I'm going to struggle to get clients. I don't know where to start. I've never had to do that. And because I had done a mentorship in the property industry and had a year's mentorship of how to grow your portfolio, I became the go-to accountant for all my mentors' new students. So thank you to all my mentors who helped me build my business. I've also got friends in the property world, and they were all coaches for teaching people how to invest in property, and they all recommended me. So I was in a very fortunate position that I've never had to market myself. I've never had to advertise. I've now started slowing it down a bit and just have to be careful of who I pick now, because I'm still getting calls regularly for new clients and stuff like that.
You're in demand, which is a good thing.
I'm in demand. Yeah. It is actually quite a niche area. And most accountants will deal with some people with rental income, but the knowledge that I've built up over the last 7-8 years has been tremendous. And having a foot in both camps is quite interesting as well.
Of course. So and you said that your investment into property, etc., was what helped you get through with an income when you weren't very well and you couldn't work, which is amazing. And that's great to be able to share that with people, isn't it? Because it demonstrates how you can, succeed in different areas from having knowledge in areas and having made that investment and been able to earn that income. And
very much so.
Yeah.
Without property, I probably wouldn't be here where I am today, because it also gave me the breathing space that I could set up a business without needing to work full time and concentrate on the business.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you. And so like you said, you didn't say this, but I'm saying this. You're in demand in the property world, and is it more people that are investors in property? Is there a certain area within that, or is it anybody who owns property? And what does it look like from your point of view?
So a lot of people have come through my mentors train and do yearly coaching. It's a mentorship for a year. There's normally about 10 of you in the group.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are some are newbies, so they've never entered the property world. So I start from telling them how to set it up to mitigate as much tax as possible and the best structures to sort it out. I'm lucky, I actually have a really broad spectrum for clients. Most of them are sort of buy-to-let landlords or HMOs, houses with multiple occupancy, so they buy to hold.
Yep.
Most of my clients. I have a few that buy, do up and sell. I've got others that have been doing development. Recently I've got a few that have started doing serviced accommodation, which everybody would know as Airbnb.
Yes.
So I actually have to cover the whole spectrum of property and ways of investing in property, and actually cover that from the tax and accountancy side of it.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing. So this is fantastic, and in the last 7 years, you've built this business up to capacity and more. Let's be honest. And
very much so. More, yes.
And so then you came across Profit First at some point, because obviously you've joined us here at Profit First Professionals. So how did that come about, and where did you hear about Profit First, and what happened there?
One of my first clients I ever had mentioned it to me one day. So I actually read the book about 5 years ago, and it really hit home. The message and everything hit home due to my background, that my parents ran their own business when I was growing up, and they always were working and didn't seem to get the reward back. So I must admit, I vowed I'd never set up my own business, and here I am 50 odd years later, sitting here running my own business, or 2 businesses. So never say never in this world. And it really hit home. I looked at training originally, but because I was trying to grow my business at the time, it just wasn't the right time. But in the background, it's always been in my head that I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I did inquire, and it was involved in America out and everything, and I just couldn't afford to do everything and go to America and do the training and everything.
Yeah.
And then as I'm not getting any younger, I've got aged parents that actually don't live in the UK. I realised that I need to spend more time looking after them, and I want more time to myself instead of working 7 days a week. And that's when I really decided that Profit First would help me get to where I need to be and where I want to be and where I hope some of my clients will get to.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And what is it about Profit First that you really get? What is it about Profit First that comes to you?
I think it's the system of actually putting money aside for different items or different investments or costs. So my first couple of years in business, my tax liability at the end of January, and I was like, I owe quite a lot of money. I've done a lot of work in the last 2 months, but nobody paid me. So how can I pay my tax and stuff like that? That's one thing. Yesterday I had to make a huge tax liability payment because it was the 31st of July. I actually had that money for the first time without scrimping and saving, and that was really helpful for me. And just having a bit more money for myself, because I put all the effort in, I don't always get the money back. And I think Profit First really helps you focus on how you run your business, and not just money wise, but are you making the best use of everything you can? Are you looking at all the costs? Are there costs that you could cut? And things like that. And actually, since I joined Profit First, it's really opened my eyes to new ways of thinking about everything.
Yeah, excellent. And so because you're fairly new to Profit First Professionals, aren't you? And that's great. But you're already finding success in your own business, which is what we want for our members. Obviously, we want our members to find success, and then they share that success with their clients and gradually build that up. And so, how is it looking in respect of clients and success with clients? Is that starting to happen now? Because it's still early days, so it takes a little while to get going sometimes. But how would you say that's looking now for your clients?
It's looking well. I've been focusing on, as part of the Profit First, we have to look at a few clients just to get a practice in and stuff like that. And I'm lucky that one of those clients has continued with me, and I'm continuing to support them through the Profit First and changing their business and making it more profitable for them. Last quarter, we managed to do their first quarterly distribution, which they loved. And actually they managed to pay some staff a bonus for the extra work they put in, and before they wouldn't have the funds, and that is just awesome to see for me.
Yeah.
And they've got so many good plans, and we're trying to put things in place that they can meet these plans and grow their business.
That's amazing. And that's the thing, isn't it? Profit First isn't just putting money into pots. It's about the strategy sessions that you have with your clients. It's about being more profitable and understanding the numbers of your client's business and being able to dig deeper into these areas with them, and them learning along with you. So you're sharing information with them, and they're solving their own problems in a way, but they can only do that with the help of you providing the strategies to look through these areas with them. So it sounds like you're starting to get some great success with some of your clients, and obviously long may that continue, and there'll be lots more clients coming along to work with you with the Profit First strategies and being more profitable in that area. And is it only really is it only really property that you're looking for? Do you work with people outside of property, or have you really honed in on this area and that's it?
So these clients that I've just spoken about, they're not actually in property. I do know them from property because one of the directors has a property portfolio that I look after or help with managing and help with the accounts and tax on it. But they're completely out of the industry. I'm possibly looking to move a bit away from the property world in some respects, because I've been doing it for too long now, but I also have the knowledge. So I haven't quite decided on what I want to do yet with regards to with Profit First and helping clients. I think I'll always have a foot in the property world because it's my background, it's what I do in my spare time or not spare time. And it's just in my blood, I suppose, and I really enjoy it and the challenges of it.
Yeah, and I suppose it's nice because you could have a mix, couldn't you? You could have some property investors, property owners, etc., and you could have some other businesses. So you've got a bit of a mix that you can work with, which I think would work really well for you. So what's changed since you joined, other than what you've told us? Is anything else changed since you joined Profit First Professionals, or is it still a little bit too early to measure that at the moment?
It's a bit too early to measure it. I only started it about 5-6 months ago, so I'm relatively new to the Profit First, but I can see how it can change businesses. I can see how it can help businesses. I've spoken to another of my property clients that actually not property. I've now ended up taking on all the family businesses, not just the property side. And it was really nice that speaking to one of them, her family was set up the same as me. She's one of 4 children, and her parents have worked their guts off all their lives, and we had such a similar story. And I've spoken to her about Profit First, and she just got it from day one, a bit like me, because of her childhood experiences. So I'd like that to help clients and other people who sort of been brought up through businesses that haven't been successful, and help them to do that.
Yeah, I understand that. And so if someone's watching this, they obviously have heard you say you're at capacity right now. But so would you still take on someone as a new client right now? Would they have to be a particular type of person? What would that look like?
I am looking to take on more clients, but more for helping with the Profit First rather than doing the full compliance work behind it. I know that comes with it, and I would still look at them, but if they didn't want the Profit First side, I probably wouldn't say yes to them unless they were property. What would they look like? Just somebody who wants to grow and wants to actually engage in new ways of thinking about their business. And also the ones that are, I suppose, I've got a bit fed up with my business, and I've seen how Profit First can help me, so I want to help people in similar situations to myself, that I'm the second generation running their own business.
Yeah.
And that's what I would like to hone in on, I think, more so than the type of client. I'm not necessarily property clients or anything like that, but I just want somebody who really wants to engage, I suppose, really willing to make changes in their business.
No, that sounds good. That sounds good. I think it's important that we align ourselves up with people that have the same values as well, which really helps. Fantastic, Rosie. And so if someone wants to get hold of you, I know you've just rebranded, haven't you? So would you like to share your new website details, or your, however someone could contact you if necessary?
Okay, so with taking on Profit First and becoming a certified Profit First professional, I'm now the Profit Guru. So you can get hold of me at Rosie at theprofitguru.co.uk. I'll say that again, Rosie at theprofitguru.co.uk. My website is www.theprofitguru.co.uk, and my telephone number is 01793 239 516.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Rosie. It's a pleasure having you part of our community. I'm really looking forward to you growing even further with us, especially from the beginning of September when we move into a new level with you, which we're really excited about. So thank you for being part of our community. And thank you for joining me here today. And we'll catch up with you again very soon, I'm sure.
Okay, thank you very much, Tim.